Hello everyone. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel, Get Crafty with Sally. My name is Sally Poole and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Albany, Oregon. Welcome. Today I have a super fun card that I'm going to show you how to make. I will be using the papers from the Designer Series paper pack called Season of Green and Gold. It is an online exclusive. It's a newer paper, so it is not part of this paper sale this month. And I did just look it up online and it's on low inventory. So if you've been thinking about getting it, you better grab it now. The online exclusives, Stampin' Up! Says when they run out of them, they might get more, or that might be the end of it. We just don't ever know. So this is a beautiful pack of paper. So if you've had an inkling that you might want it, you should go grab it now. So let me show you a sample card of the process that we're going to do. I am calling this the Paper Strip V card because I've not seen any anywhere that have a name, so I don't know what it's called. I do have a bunch of different samples because you know me and my colors and my Designer Series paper. When I get to playing with something, I can hardly stop. So I really did get carried away with this technique. These are the papers that you'll need with the measurements. You can either take a screenshot of this, or as always, I have a PDF with the measurements and all the supplies over on my blog at Get Crafty with Sally. There is a link to the PDF down below this video in the description box, so you're welcome to click on that and look at it or print it out, whatever you'd like to do. So let's get started with this card. I think the first thing we'll do, and hopefully I have all the pieces I need handy here. We're going to take our piece of 4 by 5 1/4 paper. I am using Very Vanilla, and I am going to, what the process is we're going to start, let me set this here so you can kind of get a look at it. We're going to start laying down these strips of paper. So I'm going to grab 2 to begin with, and I normally cut 5 different pieces of the Designer Series paper out of the pack. You don't have to. I think an odd number is better. I did cut 6 out of this pack because I'm not quite sure what I want to use yet. So what we're going to do in essence is, and this is kind of a light piece of paper for you to see, we're going to lay these down in a V, but I kind of want to get things straight. And luckily, that actually is pretty close to straight right there, which is strange. It's just a little bit off, and I don't want to start messing with it because then it'll take me forever to fix it. And I'm going to show you this way, and remember, I'm left-handed, so I guess that's not going to work anyway because I need to measure the center of this. So I am going to, let's see, I'm going to put this on 6 and 10, since it's 4 inches across, my piece of vanilla. And I'm going to draw a little line with a pencil down the 8-inch mark. And you want to go about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches from the bottom. So let's, not sure why I was measuring that on my grid paper. I'm going to, that's about 1.25 inches right there, so that'll be fine. Okay, so let's again make sure I'm in the camera. I'm going to put this on my grid paper, and I want to take this bottom point and put it right at the bottom of that pencil mark, or bottom-ish. And I kind of think I need, you'd think I would remember by now, 1, 2, 3.5 grid boxes. So I'm going to line this one up against the edge of that one. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5, so I'm way off. So let's tilt this down a little bit to 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So now you know why I was so excited when I had that pretty even to begin with. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So that's pretty good there. You can just eyeball it if you want. It doesn't have to be perfect. So and remember, I'm left-handed, so I'm holding this one down with my right hand. I'm going to flip this one over, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of it. And then I'm going to butt it up against this other piece again. Give that a press. Now I'm going to kind of grab this where this ends on the paper, flip it over, and then I'll start putting my glue on about there. Otherwise, you could just put a silicone craft mat under here while you're doing this, so you don't make a big mess. So now I'm going to put this down on that pencil mark, snug it up right next to that one again. We'll give that a press. And I think I've got glue. Ooh, I just made a big smear. Glue on my Very Vanilla already. So let me grab my chair now, because we're going to be off to the races here. So now let me see, let me bring my papers in here again. And remember, I cut 6 and I really only need 5. So the next thing we're going to do is a strip here. And I don't really want to put something gold next to this gold piece. So I think I'll use this little plaid looking piece. And now that we've got these two down, we can just, wow, just squirted a bunch of glue out there. We can just start applying glue directly to this piece of paper. I'm going to grab a little scrap and scrape some of that off. So let's lay this next piece down, snug it up next to this piece and this piece. Now we can take another gold one, and we'll put some more glue down over here. So this is our 4th piece. And I think I'll use this one. Today it's in the 70s here, and it's kind of overcast, so I've got my doors and windows open, which is nice. It's been too hot to do that lately. So the next one, I think this is one of the prettiest pieces in here, so I think I do want to use it, even though I've got green against green. So more glue. We'll lay this piece down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're not going to use these. Well, we still could, I guess. So now I'm going to start over again with the papers. So this was paper number 1. So I'm going to grab another one of those, but it's going to go over on this side now. I've got 2 snoring dogs going on here, which is better than barking. We did go for a walk today, which we haven't for a while because it's been too hot. Okay, so that was our number 1 paper. This is our number 2 piece. So we'll put some more glue down over here. And you'll probably run out of papers before you get to the end of this. So you're probably going to have to cut some of these off, unless you cut way more strips than I had to begin with. And if I didn't mention it, I did cut these at 1/2 inch. I know the measurement was on the screen where I showed you everything you needed. So there's 1, 2, so the plaid is number 3, so it's next. And it really isn't going to be a big deal if you get things out of order. Nobody's going to know that there was an order, and it's just not going to matter. So 1, 2, 3. This is the next one. So we'll put some more glue here. So see how easy this is once you get your first 2 pieces lined up and put down. We're almost to the end. So the next one is the pretty one. I do have some of the new papers from the upcoming Holiday Mini catalog. If you look at the video prior to this one, you'll see my first order and the items that I purchased. So that's number 5. So now we need to start over again with that, and I don't have any more, so I am going to take my big scissors and cut some of these off. I'm going to cut these as well. So we need a let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need a piece with the bells on it, and there's one. And there's just a tiny, tiny little piece left there. That's the first time that has happened. So let's see what we can poke in there. So there's that. And I'm going to grab that green. Boy, it's just not even big enough for me to really see it, but I'm going to try anyway. Can you see that little tiny white? I don't even know if I can get a piece of glue in there or a dot of glue. All right. So let's see. Let me get that off of there. I don't even know if there's enough room for that to stick on there. So one other thing that I might mention is after I did all of the mini sample cards that I did, when I was laying in bed last night thinking about this card, I thought, I wonder if I could make some kind of a template. So I did. So when you're doing this process right here, you could just draw a pencil line when you've got these in the spot that you want them, and then cut this piece out. So then you're all ready to go with this, and you know it's centered and straight and square. And you can just use this for the next cards that you're going to make. So if you are like me and you make lots of the same card, that might be a good thing for you to do. Hopefully that little guy's going to hang on there. I don't know. I don't know. I might have to, I don't know. It's so tiny. I guess I could take a pen and color that in if it doesn't stay. All right, so now I'm going to take my snips and I'm going to cut these extra papers off. And I am not the best at doing that. A lot of times I actually do it from the front. I'm going to call it blindly because I can feel where it's at against there. Okay, it's coming out okay so far. There might be a little extra bit there. All right, so let's cut this top piece off. Cross your fingers and hold your breath. That little piece stays on there. I think it did. I'm not sure, but I think it did. I don't know. All right, let's see if I can make it across the rest of this. I don't know why this is so difficult for me. And I've got extra sticking up there, so let me see if I can get that off of there. All right, that looks pretty good. I can't even tell where that little spot was. So I guess that's a good thing. So now the next thing I'm going to do is take my piece of distressed gold and we'll glue, oh, I almost forgot something. I am actually going to dry emboss this now that I've got all these glued down here. And I am using the Distressed Tile 3D folder for this. I know it's not very Christmassy, but that's okay. It's an elegant looking folder, so I think it'll work fine. Let me run over to the end of my long counter and emboss this, and I'll be right back. Just a second. Okay, I'm back. So the very first card that I made, and I'll show it to you here in a few minutes, I did not emboss it, and I just wasn't thrilled with the look of it. So I really like these better embossed. I'm going to apply some green glue to the back of this embossed piece. I want to make sure that I've got enough on here that it is going to stay glued in place. So let's lay this on our distressed gold piece. Try to get our margins equal. And then I have cut a piece of Very Vanilla for the base, and I've also cut a piece of Old Olive. I'm not sure which one I want to use, but let's lay these down and see what they look like. I think the Very Vanilla, before I even start, is probably going to be more elegant. So there's the Very Vanilla. Here is the Old Olive. But you never know. Sometimes I get surprised. I kind of like that too. But I think that I'm going to use Very Vanilla this time. Maybe I'll make another one and use the Old Olive. So I'm going to take my tape runner and put some tape on the back of the card front. And then we'll position this on our card base, which I can't see very well on the white grid paper. So hopefully that's straight. Now let's put our sentiment on. Let me grab my chair again. So I've already heat embossed this Merry Christmas sentiment in gold, and it is from, this is an old set, More Merry Messages. Wonderful set, great sentiments, great font. So let's take that and put some glue on it. You can either I'm gonna attach it to this distressed gold piece. You can either glue it to the front of your card or pop it up on dimensionals. That would be your choice. This one I did pop up on dimensionals. I do have several in the samples that I'll show you that I actually just stamped on that base piece. I think I'm just going to glue this one down. Don't remember if I finished what I was saying about the new designer series papers from the upcoming holiday mini catalog that I did go through them, and I don't really think they would be the best for this project, this technique, but I might take a look at them again. There's some red and white ones that might work. So there is the card front. Now let's just take some gems and put on the front. I'm going to use some of the festive pearls. I'm going to grab a couple of the little gold ones. And I've never put an even number of gems on a card before, but I am putting 2 on these for some reason, and I think it looks just fine. So there's our card. Other than that, you just would want to cut a piece of insert paper for the inside. I usually cut mine at 4 inches by 5 1/4. Isn't that paper pretty? Look at that. Okay, so let's let the parade of cards begin. And I will have all of the designer series papers that I used listed in my PDF. So if you see something that you really like and you're wondering what paper it is, you can go there and find out. A lot of them are going to be retired. In fact, most of them are probably going to be retired. So here is the current Season of Green and Gold paper, and I am loving that card. This is I think it's called Mediterranean Bloom. And that one I did with basic white on the paper. And then this one I just stamped right on that paper. Here's the same card, but I used Lemon Lolly. I wanted to see how that would look. Here is one with, can't remember the name of that paper, but this is a great technique if you want to make some guy cards. I think that's great. This is the first one I did that is not embossed, and I mean, it looks okay, but I think it's kind of plain. And then here's one. Of course, I had to use the bird paper. And this one I have a sentiment that's popped up. And then here is the zinnia paper. That one's kind of pretty. And then the Christmas paper. This was my favorite Christmas paper ever. Can't remember what it's called. You'd think I would know what it is since it was my favorite. And then this also has the distressed gold on it, which I think is so elegant. I love that one. And then you'll probably remember this paper too. So go through your stash, grab some papers in there that you think there might be 5 that kind of go together, and give this a try. I think you'll really have a lot of fun with it. I have, and I probably am not done playing with it yet. So thanks again for joining me. As always, hit the like button, share with your friends and family, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would really appreciate it if you would do so. It helps my channel grow. Again, I thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye.